So a couple of months ago, we did the ELT session. There were 43 leaders present. All but 5 people had at least one talent of that archetype.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the 5 people, because you were one of the 5 people. So
Yeah.
in terms of how that was positioned, how did it feel being one of the five?
Oh, I don't think my initial reaction was that I won a contest or anything like that. It was kind of like a ooh reaction. Like, really? There's only five of us out of that large group that didn't fit that profile. So that was, I mean, part of it is like, okay, I guess, but you don't fit this sort of group thing. But when you think of like that group wasn't just random people, they were all directors or above. And so to be one of the five in that group was kind of it took a little bit to process.
Okay, so basically, so my intent was to talk about the power of the outliers in terms of breaking the spell of groupthink. Like, there's a whole bunch of good reasons to have
Right.
outliers, right? But that's not how you initially felt. How you
No,
initially
not
felt
initially.
was,
No.
so initially you felt like you were being excluded.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you didn't sort of fit with the group that was represented there. For me, it's been a bit of a challenge to look at how do I apply a very different skill set into a group that is very similar. So I think I'm coming to terms, if that's the right way to put it,
Hmm.
with the fact that I'm an outlier, as you put it.
Yeah,
I think, hey, I'm a hot commodity. There's not a lot of me around
yeah.
out there. So, that's how I've been trying to approach this, is that it's a bit of I'm a commodity to the group, and there's not many of us, so we're more valuable than the rest.
Okay, so I'm not going to comment on you saying you're more valuable. I'll
We're
leave that.
special.
I'll,
We're
I'll, I'll
special.
leave that to the group to respond to
Me and
you.
my mom both think we're very special.
Now, when we met, we looked at your talents and we actually started looking at a couple of talent pairs.
Okay.
One of those vectors, and we started giving some names to these things, and they were all around your talent pairs. So one of those vectors was we ended up calling the circle of today. Now, what does the circle of today mean to you?
I think at first it resonates with me.
Yeah.
I think I see that attribute, if you'll call it that, reflected in almost everything I do, where
Okay.
you look at the problem and it's like, we need to take some action. Let's find a path forward as quick as possible to find a solution here that's going to work. And then if it works, great. Now let's try to find a way to make it work better. But we move in the moment of now, of today. Um, but it's for me, it's like I also want to drag a lot of people into the
Yeah.
today fight,
Yeah.
into that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. So for you, it's not about um, kind of bringing it down to the smallest group possible so you can assign accountability. For you, it's the other way around, is the more people are in the circle of today, the more you're getting
Oh
diverse
yeah,
diverse
yeah.
opinions. What else do you get out of the circle of today other than diversity?
Uh, um, so for me, it's about uh, you touch on like bringing as many people in as possible.
Yeah.
That for me is I get the energy off of other people contributing their ideas.
Okay.
Um, the circle of today sometimes is not linear for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of sporadic adjustments,
Yeah.
almost grabbing at the hot potatoes. Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's this,
Yeah.
great. We start to formulate a discussion and a plan, and it'll take me over here,
Yeah.
and I got to sort of drop that hot potato for somebody else to pick up, and go chase the next problem that we can focus on.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Dropping hot potatoes.
And it's good for me. I think if done properly, in this an area that I would need to get better at is it can be good for the people around me and the
Yeah.
people on my team, because
Yeah.
I can give them opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I need to own every solution. I think I need to be part of the bring the people together to find the solution.
Yeah.
So sometimes it feels, I'm sure, to people on my team like, oh my God, he's making more work for us. We're all going to do this. But if it's done properly,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I do it properly, but
Yeah.
if it is, then I think I can build up capacity in
Yeah.
my team to be very independent, critical thinkers themselves.
100%. That's well put. And so the more the more you juggle hot potatoes, almost juggle too many, that by definition you're going to drop a few. But the one that drops is someone else's development plan, then you're scaling your team.